Gaffer, another win on the board this afternoon, the late show as well. Firstly, your reaction?
Wow, incredible. I've got to pay huge credit to the referee and the fourth for showing the assistants. From minute one, they were just slowing the game down. And if I was coming here, I'd probably do the same thing. I know it's a game management from the first minute. I don't know how many times players went down, needed treatment. And the 8 added minutes was fair, and we scored in those minutes, late in those minutes. So again, that's what happens. When you come for a point. Listen, Kelvin Davis has done really well with Eastleigh. It's a fantastic club, and would it have been a deserved point for him? Probably not. We've got to be better in the final third, but again, we just found another way to win a game of football. To go Harry Cardwell, Ryan Innes, and Cairo Mitchell up front in a 3-4-3. Dan, who knows the players, Dan done exceptional his idea, and I thought, listen, let's go for it. And that's what it's about. My team, it's about my staff. Dan knows these players inside out, so it was a brave decision. But we also knew if we scored, we could go to a 4-4-2. Canu at left back, Ryan Innes at centre half with Geordie and Trey at right back. We changed formation 3 or 4 times in the game to find a way, and that's what we do at this football club. We find a way. And I'm proud of them. I had to make big decisions at half time. It wasn't Nick or Jaden's day today, but they'll have their day. And all the subs were fantastic, but I've got to pay a huge triple to Knowlesy. And that's what's happened, we're 25 yards out, they're expecting the cross, he's lined up, he's seen the keeper drifting over to this side, and he's put in the most spectacular free kick, and that's why he's played, in the league numerous times. He has been sensational. He was the player of the match, on Saturday, but I couldn't leave Trey out today because he was magnificent against Sutton, and now Knowles, he's just gone and done that. But it was the presence of the big three and overloading the side, and he's got the keeper out with a moment of absolute magic.
Yeah, I was going to mention that. I guess bringing on Ryan Innes in the moment that he did, they're expecting the cross, and it's even that half a yard of space that Knowles has picked out.
It's football intelligence. It's brave, because if that goes wide, I'd be on the bench saying, Knowlesy, what are you toing? But that's who I've won. So all the all season you can ask anyone. Be brave, be instinctive, be creative in the final third. He took that upon himself to do that, knowing that if that goes wide, I'm going to be saying to him, what are you doing, Knowles? You've got all the biggers in the box. But that's what I love about this group. They're instinctive, they're creative, they have a go. We found a way. We found a way. Deservedly so. Listen, it wasn't a 0-0. We've got to do better in the final third. Their keeper's pulled off was their best player once again. So again, wasn't at our best, but we found a way once again, and this team can win anyway.
It was the second game in 3 days. Was there a hint of tiredness in the legs in sort of the final third, or what?
Yeah, a little bit. But we had 4 starters. Credit them, credit them. They played on Saturday too and kept going, and they look fit and strong. They've done a great job, Kelvin and his team with that group. But we've got the power, at this football club. People talk about budgets, but people talk about, as it was mentioned, but what it does is we've brought in 14 new players. The narrative's changing, the culture's changing. But what you have to do, your recruitment has to be right, and the recruitment and the substitutions as management, that's why we're winning games, because of the recruitment, because of substitutions and being brave from the side as well. But we found a way, and John McMahon doesn't get mentioned enough, the way he's been with the group. Without him I couldn't do it. He's been magnificent, and all the staff. So again, it's a brilliant day. 13 points from 15. Disappointed we've not got 15. I think we should have beat Solihull. We've played better, a lot better. That's probably the worst we've played in terms of creating those chances. But again, if you've got a group who are dynamic and pace and power and overloads and play the way we do, but then if you can find a way like that, again, I can't speak either for our group.
The win keeps us top of the table, and I guess it's now moving on to Braintree on Saturday.
Yeah, another tough game. They're all tough. Listen, we're Forest Green Rovers. They're all tough. There's a narrative around us, especially now I'm manager. But as long as my group perform like that and find a way and show a way. Listen, if we'd have drawn the game 0-0, it'd been the same thing. We kept going. We just couldn't break them down. But we found a way. And there'd be games, in games like that when they might have a set piece, but we defended, we headed, everybody, another clean sheet. So again, you can win games of football different ways, and we change, and I'm not scared to change. We're not stubborn to keep playing that way when it's not working. And again, we were relentless, we kept piling forward, and it's not, when the 3 big lads are up front, we're saying to Jordan, his wonderful left foot, just don't lump it forward. Hopefully, pick one of them out, and then when one of them wins the header, we need second balls and knockdowns. We've done it quite well, and in the end, the pressure told. But it was a moment of magic. They'll be disappointed with the goal, you know. But again, it's a moment of magic from Knowlesy, who's been terrific.